when the can plant closed down.
Well, you should have came and helped them when to close its meat plant, because it's a disaster. Well, they always, well, they should have. I mean, it is. It's ridiculous. It's hard because, you know, we're two different districts.
Right.
So we got two different bosses, so who gives a shit, you know?
Customer service. So they start the plant and go to a station, you know, later on in the morning or something. We have folks like
We've got, yeah, because we
Good
still
morning,
have the
House
plant as
delegates.
a doctor.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Dr.
we are
Amber.
honored today to be entertained by the United States Marine Corps Band, founded in 1798 by an act of Congress.
Yeah, but they're in the
The United
process.
States Marine Band is America's oldest, continuously active professional musical organization. Today, the Marine Corps Band, known as the President's Own, is celebrated for its role at the White House and its dynamic public performances. The President's Own encompasses the United States Marine Band, the Marine Chamber Orchestra, the Marine Chamber Ensembles, and they perform regularly at the White House for more than 500 public performances across the nation each year.
We got maintenance people. I had a maintenance guy showed up that Saturday night. Didn't even know he was coming.
I know. It's a left hand talking right.
Yeah.
I got two carriers, one's going in.
Party. I bet he'll change his goddamn ways. I hope so. They didn't make them for Topeka do that because I've got, we've got stuff with ours and Ralph Knight. He's always been milk processing. 30-some years. He's been working with us almost a month. He goes, dang, y'all answer the phone a lot. Right now, about the only
Trying
thing
to
he does.
help you out.
And then he don't. That ain't
So you're
helping
still on
us.
Central Time?
When my supervisor, when my 2 old ones bailed on me last night during spring break, and there's 2 of us because I don't do DOAs and all that anymore. Yeah, it was. Luckily, Andy Doty, she was supposed to come. She's our new treasurer, secretary, and but her sister was in town, so she didn't go.
Please remain standing for the presentation of colors, our invocation, the playing of our national anthem, and the Pledge of Allegiance. We ask that everyone remain standing until the colors are retired. Our invocation today is being given by Bridget Evans, Branch President of Branch 159, California.
Good morning, everyone. Please bow our heads. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us all here today safely from near and far. Please bless those that were not able to join us and make it today, especially Tim Puckett, Branch 1 President, who is going through triple bypass surgery Wednesday morning. Please, Lord, keep him under the shadow of your wings. Please bless each and every one of us during our legislative training seminar meetings, training, and our time together. Help us to always treat others the way that we wish to be treated. Help us to listen, learn, share, work together, and enjoy this beautiful world that you have given us. Bless our NAPS leaders, our postal supervisors, our government leaders, and our postal leaders. Bless our NAPS auxiliary, friends, supporters, and all that come together to assist us today and throughout the years. Lord, please continue to enlighten us so that we can do what is best for the Postal Service, our NAPS members, our families, our friends, and all people of this world. Let us have safe passage home, Lord, and thank you so very much for all your many, many rich blessings. Amen.
North, green, set, halt!
Please join Secretary-Treasurer Brian Wagner in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Guards, order, halt! Colors turn, march!
Performed today by Joseph Lehman, President, Oregon State, Branch 940.
While the storm clouds light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, now please welcome our Executive Vice President, Jay Kielacki.
Let's have a round of applause for the Marine Corps Band. We want to thank you for the service to our country. Thank you very much. Also, we'd like to give a round of applause for Joseph Lehman. Well, good morning, delegates. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Washington on our 2013 Postal Supervisor Legislative Training Seminar. It's wonderful to see all you out there. One of my primary responsibilities as your Executive Vice President is to manage our NAP's legislative advocacy program and to oversee the development of our legislative training seminar each year. Each year we try to build on the successes we have achieved over the prior years in the development of the program. But no one could have ever dreamt that we would have the explosive issues that we have to deal with on Capitol Hill this year. I want to thank you for taking times out of your busy lives to come to Washington to participate in this event and for the work you will do here in the next several days to educate members of the Congress on the current state of the Postal Service, the challenges we face, and the consequences of change to the American public. I believe that we have a unique opportunity before us this week to make a real difference when we set foot on Capitol Hill starting tomorrow. I hope that you will agree that we have prepared a focused agenda and a clear messaging to bring to Congress this year. Once again, welcome, and I hope that you will enjoy our program. Thank you.
We would now like to introduce to you your current national officers. Please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. Our resident officers, President Lewis Atkins, Executive Vice President Jay Kielacki, Secretary Treasurer Brian Wagner, and now our National Executive Board. Our Regional Vice Presidents, Northeast Region Vice President Tommy Roma, Eastern Region Vice President Ivan Butts, Central Region Vice President Craig Johnson, Southern Region Vice President Tim Ford, Western Region Vice President Marilyn Walton. Now, our Area Vice Presidents. New England Area Vice President Cy Dumas. New York Area Vice President James Warden. Mid-East Area Vice President Hans Aglidian. Capital Atlantic Area Vice President Richard Green. Pioneer Area Vice President Chuck Mullador. Michiana Area Vice President Kevin Traer. Illini Area Vice President Luz Moreno. North Central Area Vice President Neil Baker. Mink Area Vice President Larry Ewing. Southeast Area Vice President Jerry Sebastian. Central Gulf Area Vice President Roy Boudouin. Cotton Belt Area Vice President Shree Green. Texas Area Vice President Jamie Elizondo. Northwest Area Vice President Cindy McCracken. Rocky Mountain Area Vice President John Aceves. Pacific Area Vice President Hayes Cherry. Ladies and gentlemen, we present you your current resident officers and National Executive Board. We now introduce our former Executive Board members. Past National President Ted Keating. Texas Area Vice President Bob Bradford. Pioneer Area Vice President Jill Carr. Rocky Mountain Area Vice President Steve Gerber. Illini Area Vice President Lorraine Harry. Michiana Area Vice President Dolores Hunter. New York Area Vice President Ann Konish. Central Region Vice President Charles May. Illini Area Vice President Dan Rendelman. Illini Area Vice President Nancy Wesley. Ladies and gentlemen, our former board members in attendance today. Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to recognize the 4 individuals who represented our organization at the wreath laying at the Tomb of the Unknowns on Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, please recognize the following American veterans: Alfonso Gutierrez, Branch 295, Vincent Hale, Branch 100, Jerry Peruzzi, Branch 386, Vicki Hilliard, Branch 489. NAPS thanks each of you for representing us all at this important event.
To you, all of you here today, thank you for being with us here in Washington, D.C. Your presence on Capitol Hill this week will make a huge difference for our NAPS members and their families. Through our collective voices, NAPS can and will continue to make the Postal Service stronger and influence the decisions that will be made in the United States Congress. You have come to Washington at a critical time in history, and as many of our members' jobs are on the line right now, the Congress is still deliberating legislation that could result in financial solutions for the Postal Service. At the same time, the Postal Service is still planning on implementing closures and consolidations both in processing facilities and post office. The changes being planned by the Postal Service, if they are implemented, will have a significant impact on our customers, postal employees, and supervisors and management employees throughout the country. Without some type of solution, the Postal Service may run out of money by the end of this fiscal year. So the stakes have never been higher than today. That's why it's so good that you are here to weigh in with your message to the members of Congress. Our job for the next several days is to work closely together to assist you in refining our message to the members of Congress, and for all of us to then visit with members of Congress and their staffers to drive our message home. I don't need to tell you how bad things are. You see it every day where you work and in the news almost every day. We are not naive. We realize that there's a need for change. But the changes that the Postal Service is planning to implement, we believe goes too far and will hurt the business. NAPS has worked closely with the Postal Service over the past several years to implement changes that have saved billions of dollars. But even with all this collaboration, all the savings we achieved, and all of your efforts in managing the changes in the field, our efforts alone have not been enough to solve all our problems. We still need Congress to act, to come up with the legislation that once and for all will resolve the financial problems of the Postal Service and restore one of the federal government's finance agencies to prosperity. We need to help Congress to restore the Postal Service where it belongs as an American icon. We still believe that there are ways to secure relief without resorting to reducing delivery frequency and other measures that will only be counterproductive and will hurt, not help the Postal Service. We'll be talking more about this later this morning. While the Postal Service does not need to reduce its operating expense, it cannot do this at the expense of service. If we take a slash and burn approach in terms of service, the American public will no longer be able to rely upon us, and then the sky will truly be falling. As managers, postmasters, supervisors, we have a unique perspective of how the events in the field translate into a bigger picture, and that's what give us the insight that we need in order to serve as the best advocacy for the Postal Service. We not only need to keep ourselves informed so we can address our representative in the House and Senate, but we also need to know how to answer the criticism of our friends and neighbors who seem to think that the USPS is not efficient. We will all be on Capitol Hill this week as both the faces and the voices of NAPS. By your presence, you will speak out on behalf of 27,000 active and retired members of our great association and the interest we all have for a strong and durable Postal Service, and that can continue to serve the needs of our great country. Our keynote speaker this morning, Postmaster General Pat Donahue, will be here to address us and to take your questions. We will also have the opportunity this afternoon to hear from congressional leaders who will update us on the actions on Capitol Hill. Thank you for your support and for being here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You will make a huge difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, our Executive Vice President, Jay Kilaki.
Thank you, Louis. As we think about our issues and the importance of your role as an advocate, it involves three things. First, being well informed on our issues. Second, building strong relationships with members of Congress. And third, supporting SPAC, our Political Action Committee, and knowing what SPAC is all about. SPAC, as you know, is our NAPS political fund. The SPAC fund is maintained through your financial support that you give through your voluntary contributions. We carefully designate your contributions towards the election of members of Congress in both the House and the Senate from both political parties. We support those members of Congress who are supportive of a strong postal system and share our interest as postal managers and supervisors. We are already gearing up for the rest of the campaign cycle for the 2014 House and Senate elections, and we are rebuilding our SPAC treasury with the assistance of your contributions. With your continued support and donations to our Supervisors Political Action Committee, we can be even more involved at fundraising events that are held both here in Washington and back in your hometowns. Once we receive your generous contributions, our NAPS legislative team identifies candidates, both challengers and incumbents, who support our issues. We direct our SPAC funds to these candidates to increase the chances of legislative success. To help us increase our SPAC funds during our proceedings here today and tomorrow morning, we will have a SPAC Internet Cafe set up outside of this meeting room to give you the opportunity to sign up for SPAC contributions through payroll deduction. As an added incentive, for those who take the opportunity to sign up for payroll deduction during this event, we will conduct a drawing for all members who are currently contributing to SPAC through payroll deduction, and everyone who signs up for payroll deduction here at the Legislative Training Seminar has a chance to win an Apple iPad. The drawing for the iPad will be held during the National Executive Board meeting following the conclusion of the Legislative Training Seminar. As a reminder, now retirees who are associate members of NAPS can also contribute to SPAC, and we'll show you how if you visit the SPAC Internet Cafe. If you have any questions on how payroll deduction works, or if you want to sign up, see one of our NAPS headquarters staff members in the foyer. We're giving you even more opportunities to become members of our SPAC Payroll Deduction Club. So who would like a new iPad this week? Anyone? Well, we'll see you out at our internet terminals and we'll sign you up. Once again this year, we also have our dedicated auxiliary members located out in the hotel foyer to help make your individual donation to our Supervisors Political Action Committee. And they're also selling 50-50 tickets. Based on the level of your donation, you will receive a commemorative SPAC pin that corresponds to the dollar value of your contribution. The auxiliary is also conducting a raffle for a Kindle Fire. Once again, thank you for your attention, and hopefully you will enjoy the program today. Thank you.
Now, please welcome to the stage the President of NAPS Auxiliary, Ms. Sharon Matthews.
On behalf of the National Auxiliary, I would like to welcome you to this year's Legislative Training Seminar. You've observed several dedicated auxiliary members selling raffle tickets since yesterday. This year we added this special incentive to the Kindle Fire. Buy 4 strips for $20 and receive the 5th strip free. You have the option of your purchase being included in your SPAC contribution pin total. In addition, we have a few limited edition SPAC donated wristbands that say "We believe in NAPS." We ask for your usual support as all LTS proceeds are donated to SPAC. There's been some confusion and we wanted to make sure that you realize that all contributions are going to SPAC. We will be conducting the drawings at the end of the session today. You are our postal family, and so we're looking forward to helping you reach your goals. I would like to recognize those hardworking auxiliary members, as they mainly were the National Auxiliary officers for this term. I'm going to read their names. They're standing in the back of the room.
Pages to go through, it's not a problem. So let's first begin. I encourage you all to look closely at your newly designed program. We have right here So I'm going to make sure it's smaller, more eco-friendly, and the guide and your folders here. So the idea is save money, save the economy, save the environment. So I think we're doing a very good job, and I appreciate that. Make sure you have these with you all the time. And those of you, put your names in these so that you don't, miss them. And you're going to be making notes so we can get them back to you if there's issues. Second, I want to also run through several other announcements to make sure everybody knows that we can make sure this conference runs smoothly. First, if you have any questions or special needs, please stop by our registration table out in the foyer where our NAP staff will do their best to help you. Okay? And of course, while you're out there, don't forget to stop by the SPAC Internet Cafe to sign up for a payroll deduction so you can make your regular contributions to our SPAC fund. All right? Let's connect with SPAC, all right? That's very good for us. I also want your full participation during the seminar. We all do. But we also want to make sure that the interaction and the proceedings that, if you have something to say, we want to hear it. So please go to the microphones in the center, give your name and where you're from. We want to make sure that at the same time you keep your private conversation to a minimum, here in the hall, or take those, so we don't take the attention away from the microphones there or up here. So please, you're going to focus your attention on the speakers and our training. It's very important. If you want to make sure you want to meet with your delegates or want to meet up with some, of your friends out there, please take it outside into the hallway so we can make sure we get our business done. A couple other things. We have deputized some sergeant of arms, once again, to assist in keeping the private conversations in the lobby and here in the ballroom. Also, please wear your name badge at all times here in the hotel. And if you're registered, you received your name badge, and your name badge also serves as your meal ticket for today's luncheon. So you will need to show this in order to gain entry into the ballroom. And today's luncheon is for registered delegates only, and there are no tickets to be sold at the luncheon. So, and I'm trying to do 37 pages real fast here. If you're expecting telephone messages, or if you need to reach someone here at LTS, there's a message board out in the foyer. And of course, this is a non-smoking hotel. Smoking is prohibited everywhere. So please honor that policy, and if you're thinking about smoking, please don't, because you can't do it in the hotel. If you brought along I gotta change this, pagers? Anybody have any pagers anymore? Pagers, take that out. How about cell phones, iPhones, Blackberries, Blueberries, Cherries? Please be courteous to your fellow delegates and our speakers and turn them off while they're in session. Because you all know what happens if your cell phone goes off. We have Sergeant of Arms, and we expect, if it does go off, you're honest enough to let us know, but I can tell you people at your table are honest enough to tell us. And you just go out there and make a contribution for NAPS, all right? The hotel's business center can provide photocopying and faxing if you need any extra copies, or I need something faxed. This is highlighted in yellow, so it's very important. Hotel checkout time is 1 p.m. If you are checking out of the hotel on Tuesday, your bags may be stored in the lobby if you want to check out of your room before going to the Hill on Tuesday. Okay? Just to let you know, 1 o'clock. As we look forward to next year's planning, once again, we want your feedback. We know we always we do our best to listen to what you have to say, and I have notes, there's tons of notes here. We want your feedback on improvements. So we try to make these changes during the LTS. So hopefully what you've seen, you've been very pleased with. Again, your input is very important. So we want to make sure that you fill out the survey that we have. It looks like this. So if you have a chance, please fill that out, turn that in.